Okay, I'm not going to construct them for you, and I didn't construct them with any great deal of accuracy here. But you could construct a graph for y factor 5/2 and a graph for y factor 6. Matter of fact, you're probably asked to do that, and you should do that as an exercise, okay? Then construct a slope graph for each of these graphs. Okay, so I've drawn slopes at 3 points on each graph, and I've indicated what might be the progression of the slopes. We could have a slope here, and a slope here, and a slope out here someplace, and 3 slopes on this graph. And if we do this, we find that the slope graph from the graph of y factor 6 is concave up, whereas the slope graph for y factor 5/2 is concave down. So this raises a couple of questions. Question is, as the y factor increases, there's a downward concavity, and that means the degree to which the graph is concave down. Concave down means like this. Concave up means like this. It's like you're in a cave. If you're in this cave looking out, well, this cave is looking down. This cave, if you look out, you're looking up. Okay, well, in any case, as y factor increases, there's a downward concavity decrease and upward concavity increase. Is the progression as might be implied by just these 2 graphs. Okay, so just to illustrate what that might look like, you might have less and less downward concavity until you switch over to an upward concavity. Okay, decreasing downward concavity, switching over to upward concavity, then increasing upward concavity. So we have this sort of thing, and if so, is there a point at which concavity switches from downward, I only have room to write down, to up. Don't even have room for my question mark, okay? Assuming, of course, that this is increasing y factor, and this represents the slope graph. I don't have room to write all that in, but let's let that be understood. If so, then if the downward concavity becomes less and less until at some point you switch from downward to upward concavity, and then the upward concavity keeps increasing, for what y factor of the original graph would the slope graph be straight? Would the slope graph be right at the transition between downward concavity and upward concavity? I need to modify this, of the slope graph. Okay. So if the slope graph is downward concave, does it become less downward concave if you increase the y factor of the original graph? So, does there exist a y factor of the original graph with a property that the slope graph is neither concave up nor concave down? Is there a transition point? And if so, at what y factor?